All right, we are talking college football week 8. Excited to be here. Don't forget to go check out our NFL episode. We have all of those picks over there as well, but we're going to talk some college football this week. Really deep into this college football season now. I won't say how many weeks are left because it will make Mike sad.
It's fine. I've accepted it at this point.
We have lots of months of college football left, but we don't have that many weeks of like regular season left, right?
Yep.
So we're going to enjoy what we have, and we're going to dive right in. We have 12 picks today, lots of games to talk about. So we will dive right in. We need to start with just like a moment of transparency. I feel like not every sports betting show calls themselves out. We need to talk about what happened with Oregon last week and how much money I lost betting on the Oregon Ducks. Stefan, what happened to the Ducks? What happened?
Man, offense. I thought Will Stein had one of his worst games as an offensive coordinator with the Ducks. Hill was playing really well the last couple of weeks, and then for him not to have a touch in the first half at the running back position for Oregon is just unthinkable. I know he's a freshman, but I mean, you got to get him involved. He was so integral in our win versus Penn State. I felt Dante Moore wasn't reading the defense very well. Which was surprising to me because he had looked like very in control throughout the first few weeks of the season. So just a bad performance from the Ducks on offense. It almost felt like they were expecting to just be able to win this game with one offensive touchdown, and you couldn't. And yeah, just really disappointed all around. I'm not sure what happened. I'm really curious to see how we play against Rutgers. My kids don't play Little League football, but if they did, they could score on Rutgers. You know, that's how bad that is.
Big East Coast trip. Big East Coast trip. It's the craziest trip besides Washington, obviously, too, in the Big Ten is this Oregon or Washington to go play in New Jersey is just the most insane thing in college football to me. It's absolutely crazy. But let's dive in. We have a lot of picks to get to. Talked about Oregon and Rutgers a little bit. Steve, why don't you just kick us off with that one? You got to pick on that game.
Yeah. And we don't like to do things in order here. So last week we started with the very last game of the weekend, which I got wrong. Utah State lost. This week we're going to start with a winner. Oregon -5.5 in the first quarter at Rutgers. Yeah, they're traveling real far. I don't care. Dan Lanning is pissed. He is not going to let this go unaccounted for. The only reason I'm not playing the full number is because it is one of those crazy games across the country. I think, though, instead of it being a slow start and we come back in the second half, I think we get out to a real hot start, the Ducks, that is. I think we do see a lot of the running game. I think you see the first quarter end 10-0. Then Rutgers maybe gets a couple of scores. I don't think this game is close, but I could see a backdoor cover from Rutgers because they have been able to score the ball. Callie Manis, the quarterback for them, former Minnesota, the Greek rifle. He's been playing well. So I do think Rutgers might be able to score some points. Oregon's defense is still elite, though. So, I think they can
for sure.
-5.5 in the first quarter. This should not be a sweat. It might be.
No.
It shouldn't be.
Yep. I love that. Love it. Hopefully Oregon's offense figures out something to get going there. But
everyone can beat Rutgers. Rutgers has some wins. But their defense has been playing terribly. So I fully expect Oregon to be able to show up and get some points.
I'm clipping that as again, man, I really think we need to go back and do a freezing cold takes episode because if Oregon somehow loses to Rutgers, just that I'm going to clip Stefan's everyone can beat Rutgers.
you can go ahead and read it at my funeral when you're doing the obituary. If Oregon loses to Rutgers, we've got problems.
Yeah, because Stefan's literally going to be dead from just a stroke if this happens. All right, awesome. Mike, hit us with your first pick, wherever you want.
I'll just go to Miami because it's sitting at the top of my list here. Give me Miami.
And it's a Friday night game, baby.
It is a Friday night game. -6.5 in the first half versus Louisville. Miami is going to control this game with ease. The full game's at like 13.5. I'm going to go first half just because it felt right. Louisville has been good in the trenches. But that's not going to compare to what Miami has done on both sides of the ball all season. They have been absolutely nasty. Ruben Bain Jr. has just been an animal. And I think he's going to cause a lot of problems for Miller Moss, who is seriously struggling under pressure. And then even the run game, Louisville's currently 128th in the country in yards per carry at 2.9. They're going to have to pull a bunch of stuff out of their butt to score well and score a lot against Miami here, and I don't think they have it. Miami has only allowed 1 touchdown in the first half in the entire season. Meanwhile, Louisville has given up close to 14 in games. So, and -6.5 first half, that feels like a pretty nice value to me. So -110, I am all over it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as well. I like Miami to keep rolling there as well. Stefan, this is like it's not March Madness yet, but you have a pick for your basketball team on here. Is that
That's
what
right.
I'm seeing? Is that correct?
10 a.m. kickoff. We talked about how much I like this UConn team.
Couple times.
I wanted to take them last week and chickened out. I should have done it. Boston College is low key real bad right now.
Who wins, Boston College or Rutgers?
Oh, Rutgers, easy.
Yeah. Boston College is that bad.
Yeah. Rutgers at least has a good offense.
That's
Boston College, I don't think is good anything. UConn has quietly been playing quite well, and I expect it to continue. They have pretty good wide receiver talent, which I'm excited to see. Boston College try to stop. I don't think they'll be able to. I'm not going to take UConn on the money line, although I should. I'm just going to take them +1.5 at -110. I think the wrong team's favored. I think UConn is very happy to go up to Boston and steal this win in this former Big East clash. UConn's a good football team. Jim Mora is a good coach. We talked about them in the preseason, talked about how UConn's investing in football now as well. And I think you start to see it. They are the other independent team with Notre Dame, so I think they get overlooked quite a bit, but I think not that anyone's going to be like watching this game other than me. But I think they cover pretty easily here. I think this line is wrong because you have untalked about team versus an ACC team.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, man. You all know I love to collect info on why experts are constantly wrong about things. And I saw someone put Bill O'Brien on a serious list of Penn State head coaching football candidates. And I'm like, this is a serious list. Like what? Like what? Anyways, yeah, let's move on. Mike, you want to take us to the SEC, to your home country?
I will go to my home country. We'll save the Georgia game. I'm going to go to Texas A&M at Arkansas. I'm going to take under 61.5. This number is honestly just way too high for me. Both of these teams are combined 8-4 to the over, so it kind of makes sense why the books are kind of running it up a little bit. But I think this number has gone a little bit too far. We saw Arkansas put up 31 points against Tennessee last week, but Tennessee is also the 101st ranked defense in the country in points allowed right now. A&M's only allowing 20 points a game. Even if A&M goes off against Arkansas, I don't think Arkansas is going to be able to score enough points for this over to hit. A&M, they've blown the score up a couple of times, but in SEC play, they've only gone over 30 points once. So 61.5 for A&M on the road. This number just feels a little too high for me, so I'm gonna go and take it -110.
That's a big SEC number. That's a big old total. I
Arkansas's
like that as well.
Defense is the reason why, though. I mean,
they're so bad.
Scare you is like, hopefully Texas A&M just takes their foot off the gas. Hopefully Arkansas allows them to take their foot off the gas.
But even like in the Tennessee game, like that total hit, I think it was 64, and that was terrible defense versus terrible defense. At least A&M's only allowing 20 points a game right now. So
yeah,
it's like, I don't know. I think I expect it to be closer to like 54, honestly.
Awesome. Well, let's stick in the SEC because Steve and I have contrarian views.
Real quick, I have a play with Texas A&M as well.
Oh yeah, let's go there.
Yeah, so I have Texas A&M as part of a money line parlay. So we're taking Texas A&M to win in that same game. Crazy how that happens when you double up on a game. And then I'm going to take Texas Tech on the money line as the other half of that parlay. So this is like my Lone Star State parlay of the week, which we always like to try to make those happen. Arizona State just got throttled by Utah. Even if Sam Leavitt is back, he has not been as good as he was last year. And I don't think he's going to be playing at 100%. Sam is the type of quarterback. We're close. I just call him Sammy Boy. Sammy Boy and I go way back. But he puts his body on the line. That's not what you want when your quarterback's already banged up. We saw him in a walking boot before the game last week. I just think even if he's healthy, I like Texas Tech in this game. And I know they have a quarterback injury of their own to worry about. But the reason I love Texas Tech is that defensive line, their defense in general, their linebacking core is ridiculous. Cameron Dickey for running at the running back position has been playing incredibly well. I just think Tech rolls in this one, but it's on the road. Weird things can happen. Maybe they squeak out a win. So just give me the Lone Star State parlay with A&M and Tech on the money line.
I texted you guys last week. If Arizona State can't play Sam Leavitt, Jeff Sims can't throw a football. I'm sorry. Like, I've seen this man try at a couple schools now, and this dude cannot throw a football. So, like, if he starts, louder Texas Tech. Yeah.
As far as they can.
See, you beat them with Nebraska a couple of years ago, and it was bad. It was hard to watch, and I love beating Nebraska, and it was hard to watch.
Yeah, y'all know I was at that game last week, and I mean, Utah's defensive line just absolutely plummeted Arizona State's offensive line. Texas Tech offensive line is better, which hurts me to say. But, dude, they threw the fade pass from, like, the 30, like, 9 times, just expecting it to eventually click. Didn't click. Now, I got to admit, there were some beautiful balls. Like, I was like, all right, that was impressive. They just couldn't come down with it. If that's their game plan with Sims against Texas Tech, they're going to get beat by 50.
Yeah.
I've also got them on a leg of a parlay. I'm taking a -3.5 on my leg. But for all the same things that Steve just said. Do you want me to go and hit the second leg of that?
Yeah, go ahead and hit that and then we'll move into our other game I was about to talk about. Let's hit the Texas Tech parlay that you got.
Yeah, so Texas Tech -3.5. And then I'm also going to go ahead and take Duke at +7.5 at home against Georgia Tech. I lost money on them a couple times here to start this season. But Darian Mensah's kind of gotten things together, and he was even good then. He was just turning the ball over a lot. Now he's been phenomenal. He's currently top 7 in the country in passing yards, touchdowns, fewest interceptions, and yards per game. They've also got this guy, Nate Shepard, brother of former CU wide receiver Will Shepard, true freshman running back. He's been amazing, man. He was slow start to the season. In the last 2 games, he's averaged 9.4 yards a carry on 27 carries. That alone is going to be enough to get this offense up and running. But then their secondary has looked significantly better the last 2 weeks. They've lost 2 games. They've lost none in the ACC. They are still very much so in the running for the ACC championship. They're going to come out on this, foot to the pedal to the metal and just kind of run as hard as they freaking can. Georgia Tech, don't get me wrong, they've been good on paper, but they've also had the 61st strength of schedule in the country right now, and they've struggled on the road. There's only a 1-point win to Wake Forest and only a 7-point win to CU, which, sorry guys, week 1 CU was not great. So I just yeah, that's fair. And defensively, they're 110th in the country in yards per carry. So if Nate Shepard keeps rolling, Darian Mensah keeps rolling, I like Duke to win this game outright currently, given that they're the home team. But Georgia Tech has been no slouch in big games either. So at the very least, it's going to be close. It's going to be a 1-score game. So go ahead and give me Duke at +7.5 there. So that with Texas Tech -3.5 get you to -119.
Manny Diaz, a big name for the Penn State job, keeps popping up too. That dude's got something to prove out there. I don't know if I like that for Penn State, but I think that he's going to be out there trying to coach his little heart out. That's for sure. All right. Let's keep rolling. Let's go to a game that Steve and I disagree on passionately. No, I don't feel that strongly about this game. I just think I think LSU is going to win, but Stefan, why don't you tell us why that's not going to happen?
I think it's crazy town, banana pants, that Vandy is favored versus LSU. Yep. I don't think that's ever happened. It probably has happened, but when's the last time Vandy was favored against a top SEC team? It's just rare. But it makes sense. Vandy looks like, and statistically has been a better team than LSU. LSU's offense looks a little bit broken. They can't seem to run the ball. Garrett Nussmeier continues to make poor decisions. He's good for at least 3 to 5 should be interceptions a game. Many games he gets away with only throwing one of them, but sometimes they do get caught by the other team too. Vandy's been playing really well. Vandy plays a very frustrating style of football. They're gonna, I think I read today that they are one of the, like, they're in the 120s as far as slowest pace of play. Like they are being slow, they are being efficient, and they are going to make you work for everything on defense, because they're just going to play Pavia ball, and it works. I don't think LSU has the offensive firepower to keep up with Vandy in this game, which is a crazy thing to say. But hey, it's the Big 25 and we're saying it. So give me Vandy at home -2.5. I mean, one of the biggest games in Vandy, like being favored in a game like this. I think it's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be so much fun. So yeah,
it's going to be fun. It'd be a fun win for Vandy if they got it. I just don't think they have. Like they showed up finally against real SEC competition this last week against Alabama and just got smacked. And so I think that
did they get smacked?
They
were up for a long time.
You were in Disney. You didn't see that game.
No. But the final score tells me that they got destroyed.
Yeah. Look at the scoreboard 5 minutes before that game was over, though.
So here's why I don't care about Vandy's offense as much, is because LSU has only allowed more than 10 points to just Ole Miss. And they've also played some very bad teams. So they're going to allow more points to that. Ole Miss, and I have a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin as an offensive mind. And so the most points they've given was 19. Every other game has been 10 points or 7 points. So I think they hold Vandy to less than 20 points. And I think LSU can put it together enough to score 20 points. Maybe it's a close game, but I just don't think I'm not buying into Diego Pavia and against upper echelon SEC, like upper third of the SEC competition until he shows me. He showed us still his last year he could do it, but going in and like playing Alabama and the way that went, I just don't think that's it. So that's my only reason here. I'm also kind of a Diego Pavia hater, if I'm being honest. So
I mean, I'm not a fan by any means. I'm like, the person's not the most enjoyable human to have to listen to, but I think his football team is going to win this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. And yeah, I did not watch the game last week. I just saw a 16-point loss, and they could only score 14 points. So that's my big thing. Let's move on though. You should bet Vandy however you feel. Your heart tells you to bet it. Mike, why don't we head over to you and talk about this Nebraska team?
Yeah, I'm taking Minnesota +7.5 at home against Nebraska -110. I'm still fading Nebraska anytime I can. Let's call it what it is. We really just haven't seen them been dominant this year. Even when they're getting wins, they're having to work for those wins. And this Minnesota team at home +7.5 is just a lot of points. PJ Fleck has kind of had Nebraska's number as well. They've won 5 straight. So I'm really just kind of going for the home team here at +7.5. Nebraska's lost every game against the spread against the Power 4 team this year. So I'm just going to keep rolling with that. -110. I don't think Raiola is going to be able to do enough on the road. I think they win. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's closer than a touchdown.
Yeah, PJ Fleck shows up, man, for some bigger opponents. And I think when Stefan and I go watch the Oregon-Minnesota game here next month, I don't think I'm not worried about Oregon losing that game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota makes it a little sweatier than it should be, because his teams just kind of do that. So he kind of shows up for those games.
Friday night, it's going to be as loud as it can be.
Exactly. It's going to be a good time. All right, we each have one more pick left. I will kick off those picks with, hey, I'm going with my system, guys. I'm not betting a Utah State under until that misses, and it is not missing. And they finally put a Utah State number in the 60s. It's at 64.5. This is a crazy high total, but I'm sticking with my guns, man. Like, let's hit it, man. Utah State's hit this number in games 4 times this year. San Jose State can put up some points. Utah State does not play defense. I'm going to roll with Utah State and Bronco Mendenhall overs until they miss this year. Have not missed yet on when I've bet them anyways. I don't know if I could go fact check. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they've missed an over period, but I'd have to go fact check that. Just when I've bet it,
I'm checking
have
right now
not
for you.
missed. Yeah, that would
I
be
am too.
very interesting. I'm sure they've missed at least one, but
They've missed 2.
So give me Utah State when I'm picking them, and we're gonna keep rolling with Utah State and Bronco Mendenhall overs. All right, Mike, why don't you take us back to the major leagues of college football with your SEC pick?
Yeah, I'm fade my home team here. Give me Ole Miss plus 7.5. Man, Georgia currently is second in the country for the most screens run per game. And it feels like that when you watch this. And you know what you don't do is you don't win big when you do that nonstop. Georgia's got a chip on their shoulder after losing to Ole Miss last year, but that means Lane Kiffin has proven he can do what it takes to beat Kirby Smart and keep this game close. Gunnar Stockton has been fine at times, but with the play calling, they're not really letting him throw the ball down the field and run the score up. They've kept SEC big games close every game. Even if they start getting just absolutely hammered in the first half, they find a way to do what it does to come back and make it close. So even if, Trinidad Chambliss comes out and starts out terrible, I don't think Georgia's going to do what they can do to try and run the score up. So I just don't think there is a recipe in Georgia's playbook right now against a top 10 opponent that says we're going to win by more than one score. Until they prove me wrong, I will pull the Stefan special and fade the home team.
Special.
So give me Ole Miss at plus 7.5.
I was thinking about betting against CU this week, but we got to buy. Hey, CU's undefeated 2 weeks in a row. What's up? That is,
cheers.
We're back, baby. All right, Stefan, keep us in the SEC and tell us. You two were I wasn't like, I'm not going to say I had no opinions on Auburn, but you two were very pro Auburn before the season. What is going on, man? 3 big SEC losses, and now we're going against them again.
So I said on the NFL, like I've been wrong, like my preseason stuff, a lot of it's been wrong. This is like the I was wrong bowl. I thought Auburn was going to be real good. I thought Missouri was going to be real bad. Missouri's real good, and Auburn's not good. Auburn maybe is not as bad as 3 consecutive losses might feel. Missouri, first road game. Super curious to see what happens with that. But they have been so good. I don't think Auburn can keep up with them. Auburn really struggled to put the game away last week, and it ended up killing them. Like they were up, 10-0? Knocking on the door for 17-0 maybe, and then all of a sudden it's 10-3, and then all of a sudden you're not scoring again, and it's lights out, game over. Jackson Arnold, I know we were hoping he would be something more than he is. He just hasn't been able to get his electric receivers involved enough. Missouri's defensive backs, I think, are going to be able to do enough to keep Jackson Arnold in check. I don't think that him running the ball, even if he does clip 100 yards again, is going to be enough for Auburn to score. They've really struggled scoring. Missouri has not. I think Missouri wins this kind of handily on the road, though, so that's why I'm a little bit nervous. But Auburn is just not a trustworthy team. So give me Missouri. What? I don't even remember what my number is. I just accidentally closed my.
You got money line. You got them on the money line at minus
perfect.
125.
Yeah,
perfect money line.
Their first road game in week. I know we talked about this preseason, so it's like it should be shocking, but like it is week 8. And they're playing their first road, and they only have 4 road games the whole season, and they're playing their first one in week 8. Who are they bribing? I have other terms to use, but this is a kid-friendly show. Who are they bribing?
We're talking about gambling. I don't think this is a kid-friendly show.
Who are they bribing to get these schedules every year? Because this happened last year too. This is crazy.
It's funny. Josh Pate was saying like people are going to have Halloween decorations up before Missouri travels, and guess what, guys? I've got Halloween decorations up. Missouri is about to go on the road, so it's good stuff.
Dude, I was on this as well initially. My only concern here is Auburn's run defense is so good. They're only allowing 2.6 yards a carry, and that is the core of Mizzou's offense right now. So I lean Mizzou. Jordan Hare can be a pain in the ass to play in, so that's the only reason why I'm staying off of it. But
they've gotten to play really. They've been able to play really crappy running attacks like Georgia.
Dude, you're not kidding. Although Georgia's rushing attack is actually fine this year. It's
I know.
just the run game or the pass game.
It's a different problems. All right. Let's run it down. Before we do, don't forget to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Also, if you're listening to us on RotoViz, go check to us at those places. If not, go check us out on RotoViz. And we are over there as well. So we're going to run this down for you. All of our game picks for week 8 of college football. Mike, why don't you go first?
Yeah, go check out the website too. We've got the bet tracker up there, and
Yes.
you can make fun
Maybe
of me
don't.
of how
Maybe
bad
don't
I'm doing in
recommend
the NFL.
that right after last week.
What
What are you
Probably.
doing, Mikey?
Hey, man, I did good in college last week, so I got to pep myself up.
Got to pump yourself up. That's funny.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start. Give me Miami minus 6.5 in the first half versus Louisville. Texas A&M at Arkansas under 61.5. Minnesota plus 7.5 at home against Nebraska. Ole Miss plus 7.5 on the road against Georgia. And then a parlay of Texas Tech minus 3.5 with Duke plus 7.5 at minus 119.
Awesome. I got Utah State and San Jose State over 64.5. And then I'm going to take LSU on the money line to beat Vandy. Stefan?
I am going to take Vandy at home minus 2.5 against LSU. I'm going to take UConn plus 1.5 on the road at Boston College. We're going to take Oregon minus 5.5 in the first quarter at Rutgers. We're going to take Mizzou on the money line traveling to Auburn. And then a little Lone Star State parlay. We're going to go Texas A&M on the money line, parlay with Texas Tech on the money line, and we get that at minus 132.
Love it. We will see y'all next week. Go check out the NFL episode, and we'll see you later.